Ah, my apologies. I wasn't expecting you for another 10 minutes. I assume that you are Mr. Hewy Toonmore?
Oh, yes, I am. Huey Toonmore, host of Huey's Animated Movie Reviews. Pleased to meet you, Doctor.
Pleased to meet you too. Would you like to take a seat?
Oh, yes, thank you. Do you mind if I lay back? That is the typical thing to do with a therapist, right?
Whatever works for you. So, Mr. Toonmore, tell me what's on your mind.
Well, as you may already know, I'm a film critic. I have been ever since I graduated high school about 6 years ago. I have a review show on YouTube and on Blip.tv where I review animated films from old to recent, whether they be hand-drawn, stop-motion, or computer-generated. It's a modest little hobby I have, and it does put bread on the table, depending on how popular or how many views I get on an episode. My dream is to one day be up there with the likes of the Nostalgia Critic, Linkara, Blockbuster Buster, etc. Anyway, what I love about being an online reviewer is talking to and even working with other online reviewers, and maybe even befriending them. But sometimes we don't always like the same thing the other does, and we kind of have a falling out and never really speak to each other again. In the last 4 years, I have become a fan of a little cartoon show called My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and I was surprised to find out how many other people out there enjoyed the show as much as I did, and that some of them started doing reviews about the show, where they talk about things like the episodes, the characters, morals, themes, etc. So, being a critic already, I thought I could befriend some of the Brony reviewers since we basically almost share the exact same interests. And since I really don't have any friends outside the internet, I constantly want to talk to them. But usually when I want to, they're probably too busy writing reviews or in a chat room with other Brony reviewers and don't have time to talk to me. I ask if I could join the chat room and be part of the discussion. They say they think about it, and they never get back to me. This is one of the reasons I've been thinking about becoming a Brony reviewer myself. Maybe if I'm one of them, they'd be more open about letting me join their group chats and be a part of their discussions. But that's when I ask myself, am I wanting to be a Brony reviewer so that I could share my honest thoughts on the show, or am I doing it just so I can be accepted by other Bronies and make more friends?
I see. Might I ask whether you spend your free time critiquing My Little Pony? Like, whenever you're watching an episode, you begin thinking about what worked and what didn't, as well as analyzing story elements, characters, and conflicts?
Oh, of course. I even think of ways they can be either changed or improved. Heck, I've already done so for the episode One Bad Apple for a story in my MLP fanfic series Adventures in Equestria. But then I begin to worry that other Brony reviewers out there might already have the exact same thoughts that I have, and that my own thoughts really wouldn't be any different from theirs, and that I wouldn't really be offering anything new to the table. And that brings me to yet another problem I have.
And what might that be?
Well, I'm also adapting my fanfic series into an audio drama that I'll be posting on my YouTube page. I've already posted the first episode, and it got some good feedback. But then, one of my subscribers posted on my page saying that he was unsubscribing because I liked My Little Pony, and that what I posted wasn't a review. I began to worry that if I did start doing Brony reviews, that I would be losing more of my longtime subscribers. Sure, I would eventually make new ones, but how many would I lose in comparison to those I would make by doing Brony reviews? So you see, I don't just have one problem, but 3. Do I want to become a Brony reviewer just so I can make more friends rather than to share my own thoughts on the show? And if I did start reviewing the show, would my thoughts be unique and interesting enough to stand out from all the other Brony reviewers? And would I lose any more of my longtime subscribers because they don't share the same feelings I have on the show? Ugh. What should I do, Doctor? I'm at my wit's end.
Well, it sounds to me like you are worried about how others will see you rather than how you see yourself. Perhaps there will be more than a few people who will stop watching your content because you want to talk about MLP. Perhaps the main reason you want to become a Brony reviewer is the hope that you will be more accepted by those you respect and admire. But I would worry far more if you were closing yourself off from something you thoroughly enjoy doing just because you're afraid of the possible consequences that come with it. We shouldn't be striving for what's easy, Mr. Toonmore. We should be striving for what's worthwhile. Let me ask you this. How would you feel if you never allowed yourself to become part of the fandom, for whatever your reasons? Would you decide that it's better to live and let live, move on without much of a thought? Or would you lean more towards thinking about what might have been? I can tell you from personal experience that taking that risk and stepping outside of my comfort zone has been immensely helpful in so many aspects of my life. Since I began making MLP content on YouTube, I have felt more confident, more outgoing, and more positive. You've already proven to yourself that you enjoy analyzing MLP for fun, and it seems that you would likely continue to do so even if you weren't making MLP reviews online. Who knows? Maybe you start making videos about MLP and lose some of your current audience because of it. Maybe your reviews will touch on a lot of points that other reviewers have already mentioned. But then again, maybe not. I never would have thought I could possibly get as far as I have, and if I allowed my hesitations to get the better of me way back then, I never would have known about all this potential. And perhaps you can discover something about yourself that you never thought possible either. Does that make sense, Mr. Toonmore?
Yeah. Yeah, it does, actually. You know what? I'll do it. I'll become a Brony reviewer. If I lose some of my subscribers because of that, then forget them. That only proves that they can't see the big picture of what My Little Pony Friendship's magic truly is and how it differs from previous generations. If any of my subscribers are truly loyal and faithful, then they'd follow me no matter what I decide to do. Plus, having Brony reviewer friends, heck, Brony friends in general, means we can discuss what we like or don't like about the show, and that could help me with my reviews. And who knows, maybe I can bring something new to the table with my own thoughts. Yeah. But I also can't let this interfere with my regular review series. How can I do my MLP review series while also still having time to do Hewy's animated movie reviews?
Probably the same way I end up making reviews alongside dramatic readings, podcasts, comic dubs, and the A Moment with Dr. Wolf series. Where there's a will, there's a way.
I could always do a MLP review once every few months. That way I can still put all my main focus on my regular review series.
Fair enough. Shall we continue on this next week?
Sure, sounds good. Huh. Cool. Kinda wish I still had pants, though. Anyway, thanks a lot, Doc. See you next week.
Take care, Mr. Toonmore. It's good to be helping.